Okay, good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. I hope you're feeling good this morning. My name is Haziq Ali. I'm a revenue acceleration coach and somebody who's dedicated to help you go further fast with less effort. There was so much to get out in one breath. Oh, snap. Oh, man, we had a good weekend out there in Dallas, Texas. Shouts out to Dr. Dennis Kimbrough. Of course, my mentor, Mr. Les Brown, was there. We had a lot of fun, man. We spoke at the Trust Up conference. A lot of people were talking about getting themselves into trust. You know, that makes you IRS proof, that makes you probate proof, etc., so forth. Mrs. Goins in the house. Good morning, Queen. Technique of the week, y'all. We doing the same one we did last week. It's called a referral script. So how it works, right, is you make a list. You know, you fill in that champion club form or you can take a blank piece of paper, write out 50 names on that thing, right? And then you're going to call them and you're going to say this. You're going to say, hey, I've been working on something lately. I'm just curious. Do you know anybody with 2 jobs that might be looking to get rid of one of them? If not, it's no big deal. I was just curious. You know, so again, you exchange pleasantries. What's up? How you been? They're gonna be like, I've been good and all of that, right? And then after that, you'll be like, so listen, I've been working on a project lately. I know we ain't talked in a minute, but I've been working on this thing, right? And I wanted to ask you, do you know anybody who has 2 jobs that might be looking to get rid of one? Listen to me, it's golden. All they can do is say no, yeah, or heck yeah, me. That's all they can say. And the reason that counts as one of your 2 a day is because that's an exposure, right? In a slick way, in a rejection-proof manner, you just now got them the information that you got something going on. Am I right, Camille? We just told them in a slick way we got something going on. What's up, Turtle? Good morning, Queen. Woo, y'all gonna be hearing from her. Y'all have no idea who that is. Demeter, what's up? Good morning, Queen. Gonna get this party started. If you're checking in from Facebook, go check in on YouTube. That's how we do that. All right, I'm gonna call in on this live line. We about to get this thing started. Good morning, everybody. Man, I know it has been a heck of a week already. Like, this weekend was insane. You know, you be feeling like you got no time. You be feeling like everything is just
you have something special.
All the days.
You have greatness in you. Hello, this is Les Brown, and you're in the right place at the right time because we're going to bring the millionaire out of you. Just hold on.
Please, it was so great getting to hang out with Mr. Brown this weekend.
Thank you. Please announce yourself.
Hold up.
All participants are muted. Entry and exit tones are off.
Okay. I know we still got a couple seconds before it's officially 7:30. Yeah. What's up, Mark Bates? Ashley Scott in the house. Hey, you better tell him, Mrs. Goins. Trey Brown in the building. Yeah, man. So that was a technique of the week. If you missed it, make sure you rewind it on YouTube. That was a technique of the week. That's all we're pushing this week. It is coming up on 7:30, so we about to get this party started. In the meantime, make sure that you rep your city. You know what I mean? Where you at with it. Let us know what cities we got checking in. Share the training. Make sure you're sharing it with everybody that you know. Okay, it's 7:30. Good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. How you doing? My name is Haziq Ali. I'm a revenue acceleration coach and somebody who's dedicated to helping you go further, faster, with less effort. I'm gonna tell you, a lot of the revenue acceleration is really self-esteem development. You know, so yesterday we talked real heavy about how to improve your self-image. I don't know if you've ever put any thought into it, millionaires, but when we see you, we know what you believe about yourself. When we see how hard you work, we know what you believe about yourself. You ever seen somebody who is just climbing out of their conditions, like they feel like, man, you know, this is just so beneath me. This is not my, yeah, that's what it is. They feel like that's so beneath them. But have you ever seen somebody just chilling, where they're just maintaining? They ain't really doing much. They just cooling out. Well, that's because they feel like that matches them. Their life matches up with who they are. If you ever see somebody trying to sabotage themselves, what you're looking at is somebody who feels like they have weirdly ended up in a place that's above them. They're not supposed to be here. Let me destroy this so I can get back to where I'm supposed to be. What am I saying to you? I'm saying that like desire shows up in conversation, belief shows up in behavior. So this morning, I'm just talking to those who believe something a little bit bigger about themselves. I want you to share this with somebody if they believe a little bit bigger about themselves, because this is for them. And the universe gives to the givers just like it takes from the takers. Millionaires, I got something for you this morning that can change everything. We were going a little bit into some mindset stuff about, this time management and everything. And, so many of you emailed in, et cetera, so forth. Oh, let me throw that up. If you haven't joined the email list, then you may want to join our newsletter. We send out mindset, skill set, and heart set every single week. It's super cool. Just go to the website, put your email in a box, real simple like that. You'll get the affirmations, and then you'll also get, join our newsletter. Or right now, I think they're giving away this revenue acceleration thing, but then you'll join a newsletter too. But at any rate, so many of you emailed in like, man, but what about this? Or hey, I'm a single parent. I'm trying to run my business at the same time. Or hey, listen, I'm one of those people with 2 jobs. And yeah, it takes a minute for the business to take off. So right now I have no time. What am I supposed to do? Other people that have, multiple children, people with children with special abilities, if you can understand where I'm coming from. There are people out here whose time schedules have them at odds with their goals. I said it in the description. Everybody put this in the comments. You get 1,440 minutes a day. 1,440 minutes a day. But listen, give me that. Give me that. I want to brand that in your consciousness. You get 1,440 minutes a day. Can somebody give me that in the comments? 1,440 minutes every single day. But then check this out, y'all. You spend about 480 of them sleeping. Then you spend another 180 of them eating. You see what I'm saying? That's already about 700 of your 1,440. Half the time is gone, and all you did was have a couple meals and some sleep. You get what I'm saying? So really, you only have about, call it 800 minutes to play with every day. You only got about 800 of those 1,440 to play with. You hear what I'm saying to you, Travis? Vita, you only got about 800 of them to play with. So what are we going to do? I'm going to give you like a bunch of things to think about this morning. Yeah, you spend about 480 of them sleeping. That's a fact. So, and then you take another 180. If you add it up, driving to get it or fixing the food, then eating it, let's call that an hour. You're doing that each meal. That's 3 more hours gone. Here's the first one I want you to write down in your notes. Run the day or it'll run you. Run the day or it will run you. Run the day or it will run you. Somebody give me that and a share. See, because part of the key to this time management thing is just staying in charge. Here's what usually happens. We start something, we're in control, but then the day starts to unfold and we start losing it, right? It's like running a business. If you don't stay on top of things, the business is going to run you. A lot of times we think we own a business. No, you own a job, right? Because what's happening is it's running you. You're never able to work on it because you're always working in it. You got to stop every once in a while and be like, wait, who's in charge here? Yeah, deadlines are absolutely count, but it is an art to prioritizing what's got to get done if you intend on staying on top of everything. Jim Rohn always used to be like, some will master and some will serve. Now, I don't mean in that whole thing I always teach about how first you serve and then you rule. Nah, what I'm talking about is the nature of life is that you have to make sure you become the master. You have to run the day. You got to stay in charge. And can I get a witness out there? Right? And what's the key to staying in charge? Your written set of goals. Your written set of goals. I don't know how many of you have already ordered your planner, for starting next month, but this thing is golden. And one of the reasons is that it allows you to write out in written format what your goals are and then prioritize them bad boys. The key is that you want to prioritize what's important. You got to constantly review You got to make them part of your game plan. And then when you have your game plan in hand, what your goal is to separate the major stuff from the minor stuff. It's all about priority. And that's why we always say it's a little thought that'll save you some time. You know, the will to win is really the will to prepare. You got to prioritize. Is this a major day or is this a minor day? And then you got to adjust your time like it matters. You got to adjust your time accordingly. Is this a major conversation or is this a minor conversation? Man, God bless him, man. I got a homie. Every time he calls me, I pick up the phone for it. It's a whole new thing. You know what I mean? I just cracked the joke with him this morning because like in 3 conversations, this fool told me about some special paint, told me about buying a radio station, asking me about hyper funds, talking about training, talking about insurance. That's in 3 different conversations. Who has time to focus on all of that? You're never going to become $1 billion business if you're spreading yourself around in all of this stuff. What I'm saying is this: you got to stop majoring in the minor. You got to stop spending so much time on stuff that don't count and then too little time on the things that absolutely do. You hear what I'm saying to you? Millionaires, somebody give me some will master and some will serve, and then give me a share. And I'm going to give you a second one. Y'all with me? I'm going to give you a second one right now. Here's the second one I got for you. It's funny. My mentor's daughter says this one all the time. I'm going to go ahead and give credit to Miss Ona Brown, right? Check this out, y'all. The way Queen Ona Brown always says it is that don't mistake movement for achievement. That's number 2 I got for you this morning. Don't mistake movement for achievement. Now, what do we mean by that? You probably know some people around you who's just busy being busy. I don't understand how people be so busy and they be broke. I mean, it's one of life's mysteries, right? You got to be busy being productive. You know, imagine that dude that come home every night. He just plop on the couch. He like, oh, I've been going. Oh, I'm just going. Yeah, probably so. But here's the question. You've been going. Where? Right? Doing what? Because I'm going to tell you what a lot of people do is figure 8s all day. They do figure 8s all week. They do figure 8s all month. All they doing is shuffling paper from one side of the desk to the other side of the desk. What I'm saying to you is what constitutes progress. That's why it's so important for you to see what you're doing every day. It's so important for you to understand where your day is going. What constitutes progress for you? Don't mistake movement for achievement, millionaire. Evaluate the hours in your day. You know, this time audit section is incredible because of the fact that it forces you to evaluate the hours in your day and see if there's some wasted time. Like the way we lay that thing out is that you put a P if it's a profitable exit. Just go through your day. You know what I mean? Put a P if it's profitable, a L if that was a loss activity, a N if it was neutral. You hear me? It's an incredible way for you to see if there's a lot of wasted time in your day that you could be managing better. And you can grab the planners from millionaireminded.com, but that's not the point here. The whole point is even if you use a blank sheet of paper, you got to know your numbers to grow your numbers. It's the same thing with your time, y'all. You got to know where you're wasting time for you to adjust. Awareness is the first step to change. Does that make sense? Somebody give me a don't mistake movement for achievement and then give me a share. Don't confuse movement for achievement and then give me a share. Hey, you better talk to him, Ali. Yeah. All right, let's get it. Here's the third one, y'all. Concentrate on where you are. Check it out. If you want to use your time more wisely, what you got to do is learn to zero in on the job at hand. Miss Amananzui gave me this one. Somebody give me this in the comments. If you ain't got time to do it right, how you got time to do it twice? Somebody give me this in the comments. If you ain't got time to do it right, you ain't got time to do it twice. You hear me? What if you began to approach your projects like an architect? When do you get started? once it's finished. Once it's finished. You don't start the building until it's done. Where? Done in your head, right? But then once you've got that thing done in your head, your responsibility is to concentrate on exactly where you are. Don't start your business day until you get to the business, right? But up until then, if you're with your family, you focus on them. If right now you're reading this book, if you're doing your morning read, you're focusing on the reading. If it's time for you to focus on your breathing as we do our affirmations in the morning, you focus on your breathing. You don't let your mind wander. You know, Dr. Dennis Kimbrough said something incredible this weekend. He was like, the number one barrier to wealth is an undisciplined mind. The number one barrier to wealth is an undisciplined mind. Can somebody give me that in the comments? The number one barrier to wealth is an undisciplined mind. Listen to me. When you're getting ready, when you're getting busy in the morning, you know, you probably starting your business day in the shower, right? You in the shower trying to work out an email you're going to send in a minute. No, that's your time. I'm not even awake yet, right? I'm a wait and do the work once I'm sitting there you get what I'm saying to you? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm all for integration, and this is a lifestyle, and we love our lives. But what I'm saying is you're going to get more out of it if when it's time to work, it's time to work. And then when it's time to play, it's time to play. You get what I mean? When it's time to read, it's time to read. When it's time to relax, it's time to relax. When it's time to charge up, it's time to charge up. When it's time to go hard and grind for 72 hours straight, it's time to go hard and grind for 72 hours straight. If this is a major conversation, it's a major conversation. If this is a minor conversation, it's a minor conversation. But the whole point is you got to focus on where you are. Does that make sense? We're not going to start our business day at the breakfast table, and then now we don't get nothing out the business and we don't get nothing out our family. You know what I mean? That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Right? Straight up. All right, here's the fourth one. In. Because what we're saying about that, right? Yeah, appreciate that. Let's get it. That's right. What they say focus stand for, follow one course until successful, right? You know, don't get me wrong. You know, sometimes we have to, you know, give just our allotted time to that project. Like if you're working on your book and every day you're supposed to write from 3 to 3:30, then you got to give it that. Yeah, you're not finished the book yet, but you finished that time allotment. But you're like, how do I get to all of this? Here's number 4. Learn to say no. Somebody say, learn to say no, and then share this with somebody that needs to know that one. Oh my goodness, it's so easy in this society to just say yes way too much. It's so easy to over-obligate yourself. And then it takes all that time to back up out of it because you done put yourself on the coals now. I don't know if I can make it, but I'm going to give you a call. It's way nicer to say that than to back out later. What happens is we don't understand being too eager to please can be so dangerous. You got to appreciate yourself. You got to appreciate your time. You got to appreciate your limits, millionaires. I forget where I heard this from. Somebody give me this in the comments, right? Don't let your mouth overload your back. You know. Yeah, I remember back in the hood, we used to say it different. Like, don't let your mouth write a check your butt can't cash. You know what I mean? But how we gonna say it today is don't let your mouth overload your back. Being too eager to please, y'all. All you're doing is messing up because you're doing that because you want them to like you. But what happens when you blow it and you're not able to deliver? Now they don't. You're working against yourself. So what we always teach in the Kaizen Academy, right? The millionaire minded way is you go slow to go fast. Go slow to go fast. If you say no to more people, you'll eventually be able to say yes to more people. Does that make sense? You got to know when your commitment to somebody else is going to end up taking time away from something that's more important. You hear me? You got to appreciate your special time. This is how you get to be this person they all love. Appreciate your time with the people that you love. Appreciate your time with the people that love you. And entrepreneurs got to deal with this, but this is especially people that are in nonprofits, charity work. I know a lot of people who are really successful, get a lot of press, but I'm gonna tell you what, man, next thing you know, they get no time for themselves. They end up burning out. You can't immediately say yes to everything just because it sounds prestigious, or it sounds like you can't immediately say yes to social functions, even if it sounds like a lot of fun. Millionaires, we've got to mature to the place where we say maybe, and then we take time to evaluate. And you know what that's going to do? It's going to raise your posture. It's going to raise your self-image. Now you don't seem so accessible and thirsty and easy, man. Let me tell you who you need to be eager to please. You need to be eager to please yourself and your family. Huh? Maybe it's a sign of maturity to not be so eager to please everybody else. Maybe it's a sign of maturity to begin to appreciate your own limits, because they're there whether you appreciate them or not, baby. You do have limits. You do have a finite amount of energy. You have a finite amount of activity you can produce from the amount of food you ate yesterday. You're going to have to, at a certain time, recharge. You get what I'm saying? Refill. You get what I mean? Rejuvenate. And if you learn to say no more, you'll be able to appreciate more of the fruits of your labor. Does that make sense to somebody out there? I know how it go. But somebody say, learn to say no, and then give me a share. Learn to say, yeah. Learn to say no and give me a share. Learn to say no and give me a share. Now, this is not to be confused with us saying that what we're going to do is stay in our comfort zone. We ain't never saying that. But what we are saying is that for some of us, our comfort zone is saying yes to everything. Our comfort zone is saying yes to everything. And it's time for us to switch that up. It's time for us to switch that up. Let's get it. All right, here's the last one I got for you. This is somewhat along the lines of, learning to say no, and us remembering to take the time to enjoy the fruits of our labor. I just want to go ahead and make that a little bit more explicit. What we're saying is appreciate the little details, appreciate the little things. God's in the details. Your success should be a pleasure. Can somebody say God's in the details for me and give me a share? God's in the details, and then share that with somebody who needs to understand this. Your success should be a pleasure, appreciating what you've acquired and what you've done and who you've become. Man, that's the whole play, baby. What does this all mean? If you're not even appreciating yourself, raising your own value in your own eyes, appreciating yourself. You say, why, Hazi? I thought it's all about staying meek, etc., so forth. And yeah, that's true, but check it out. You'd be shocked how when you appreciate yourself, when some real estate appreciates, how it goes up in value. You'd be shocked what happens, how when you appreciate yourself, it begins to fuel your future accomplishments. You begin to use that gratitude as sort of a gasoline. You hear what I'm saying to you? Just knowing that you finished what you started out to do, that's encouraging, baby. These are these little daily improvements that make you start feeling like you deserve your dreams. But if you don't even take note of everything that you see, sometimes we chunk it out and it's helpful. Like we don't say, oh, I got in the car, I started it up, I put on my seatbelt, I drove to the stop sign, I made a right, No, we just say we drove to the store. We don't take note of all the little details that it took to get us successfully to that store, right? And that's cool because that helps us quicken the communication and all of that. I'm gonna tell you where it ain't cool to do that, when you're looking at your own journey. Oh, I just work here. What about that winding pathway that got you to some of these relationships you have now, some of these friendships you have now, some of these opportunities you have now, some of these resources you have now? What about the winding road that led you there? Are you even taking note of it? Because that's where your encouragement is. Millionaires, you know, a lot of times we on some stuff where you know, we trying to figure out tomorrow's game tonight, right? And then tomorrow looks pretty light. So all you write down for the day is, you know, we gonna clean up. So you clean up all the little notes on your desks. You know what I'm saying? You write all these little thank you notes for the week. Just imagine this. What kind of king, what kind of queen do this? You write out your thank you notes. You start, you know, you take care of a few phone calls. They keep getting shuffled from one day to the next. You know, you got a couple follow-up calls to make, right? It's just minor stuff. It's just a bunch of minor stuff. But what happens? You're getting rid of this little stuff that be weighing you down until you get it done. Like, I don't know if you know, if you're trying to save battery life on your phone, what you need to do is get rid of some of them windows you got open. It's the same thing with your mind. Yeah, your mind is a supercomputer, but surely it would work a little bit better if it was a little bit more focused, if you ain't have all these windows open. You hear what I'm saying? So maybe you take that minor day and you spend it in cleanup mode. One cool thing about cleaning up your house is you can make phone calls while you do it. You can still contact and build network and add value to people's lives at the same time as you getting your house looking more like that Limitless vibe. Y'all seen Limitless? Somebody say Limitless. So you remember what I'm saying. First thing he did when he took that pill, start cleaning everything up. You know, and I know your whole life feel better when things is organized. So this might not be a major day in terms of some big deal you about to do, but this could be a major day. You feel like you've accomplished so much. Why? Because you took care of so many little details. Somebody say God's in the details. We about to go say our affirmations, y'all, but all I'm trying to say is that, you know, all this big stuff is made up of all this little stuff. You know what I mean? I just showed you how this was looking like a minor day, and now you feel incredible because you knocked out all of these other little things. Tell him, Mike. Hey, man, tell him, Yvonne. That's real talk. That's real talk. All right, y'all, we about to go do our affirmations. I hope everybody feeling good out there. All we saying is little achievements. It's just as big. It's just as important as some of the big ones, man. Here's a phone number. If you never called in and do your affirmations with us, just try it. Millionaires, you'd be shocked how much is possible in them 24 hours we get every day. Them 1,440 minutes. You can really have a whole different life a year from now. You know, 6 months from now. There are people who are doing this 90-day challenge with us whose whole life is going to be different going into the fourth quarter of the year, just going into September, just because they decided to invest their time a little bit differently. Man, some people are going to do that in 30 days because some of the habits they start off are going to change everything the rest of their life. If a penny doubles 31 days straight, do you know that goes to $10.7 million? Think about that. Not 10.7 million pennies, because that would still be a lot. A penny doubles every day. 1 penny, 2 pennies, 4 pennies, 8 pennies, 16 pennies, 32 pennies. At the end of a month, you got over $10 million. That's because it don't happen in a day, y'all. It happens in the daily. Little achievements are what create the big achievements. That's why we call it the Kaizen Academy. We're just trying to be consistent and never ending in our improvement. Success is just this constant process of working towards the goals. I need you to understand what we're dealing with here. Little achievements produce huge results. Anything's possible in these 24 hours we're given every day. Repeat after me. I am so happy